Game begin.
You see this guy? Yeah, that should have been me. Pull up a chair and sit down so I can tell you about the time I lost out on $1 million opportunity. No, this isn't clickbait, it isn't an exaggeration, and I wasn't in a Mr. Beast video to try to win an island. I was supposed to be a contestant on the hit Netflix reality show Squid Game: The Challenge. By now, many of you have probably binge-watched this show. I know I haven't for reasons you're about to find out. It all started October 15th. I was house sitting for my brother and I came across a video that I completely forgot existed. You see, I was one of those people that absolutely loved the show Squid Game, and I told everyone I knew to watch it. So when I heard that there was going to be a reality show and that anyone could apply to be on it, I rushed to the website. But then it said to make a 1-minute video, and in typical Juice fashion, I'll do it later. Fast forward to October 15th, and my thought is, that's still going on? So I got off my butt and actually started filling out the application. So of course, I check all the boxes, fill out the necessary information, upload 5 very sexy photos, and then it came time for the 1-minute video on why I should be on the show. And luckily for you beautiful people, I still have that video. Yo, my name is a lot of people on the internet know me as Juice because I've been making content for the last 10 years. And if I was gonna be in the Squid Game, I don't think I would have a game plan for the game because you don't really know how to plan for something if you don't know what the game is. But I will say I am somebody that adapts to things very quickly, so I think that's an advantage. But I'm also a very observant person, so I would watch my competition until I found out who could be beneficial until I didn't need them anymore. And if I was able to win the competition, the first thing I'm actually doing is I'm paying off all of my parents' debts and I'm building them their dream home because they've always been very supportive of what I wanted to do, and I just want to make sure that they can live the life that they've always dreamed of without having to work every day for the rest of their lives. But yeah, that's all I got. If you guys need somebody with a sweet mustache in your game, I'm your guy. Now, I should let it be known that there was more to the application than what I just listed. You see, the show wanted to know more about me, and more specifically, they wanted to know what I would do with the money, and also how much money would be life-changing for me. Now, obviously, I thought putting the max amount would be pretty stupid, because of course winning millions of dollars would be life-changing for anyone that isn't already a millionaire. I decided to put a very modest number, $500,000. I know, pretty high still, but the reasons why I put this went along with the reasons for me playing the game. I stated those reasons in the audition video. After a few miscellaneous questions, I was done with the application, and if I'm being honest, I was done with the thought of being on the show. I tend to treat a lot of things in life with the motto of, you gotta be in it to win it. I'd love to win the lotto, but I know I have a better chance of accidentally eating gold and shitting it out than I do of winning the lotto. But someone has to win, right? So I still buy a random ticket from time to time. I did the same thing with this audition. I never thought I would get selected. The cash prize was over $4 million and the whole world could enter. So I forgot about it. Until one random morning. I woke up half asleep like most mornings and checked my phone. For some odd reason, I decided to clear out my emails, which at the time was probably like over 1,000 unread emails, because I don't know about you, but if I think an email might be interesting, I don't open it until I have the time to respond, which just leads to them piling up. Well, as I started cleaning out all of these emails, one caught my eye because it had an attachment in it. When I opened it up, I see it's related to the show Squid Game. Still half asleep, I begin to read the email where it says, "We received your application and wanted to see if you would be able to jump in a Zoom interview on October 24th. At this point, I'm wide awake because I realize it's November 1st. I continue reading the email which says, "We had over 80,000 applicants, so not everyone is getting contacted, just the people that had great videos." My soul pretty much left my body at this point, and before I knew it, I had already responded to the email letting them know that I just saw the email for the first time. My initial thought was maybe I have a chance because Hollywood doesn't move fast, and it's only been a week since the email. Then I noticed the email was actually sent on the 17th of October, just 2 days after I submitted my application for the show. 2 days! As you might imagine, I was gutted and got a little depressed. Missing this email made me revisit this theory I have about myself. I often think that I'm cursed, which is funny because I don't believe in curses, but if they are real, I'm pretty sure I have one. There have been numerous occasions in my life when things are going good, they turn out to be absolutely horrible or take a turn for the worst. I've entered so many contests in my life and have ended up in second place in so many of them that in my Twitch chat, we actually have an emote called Second Place Champs in honor of this. So as I was falling into this depression from missing this email, I messaged a few friends to vent about my cursed life, to which one of my friends suggested that I try finding this cast director and do whatever I can to get their attention, because he said what I had already thought. Hollywood moves slow, so you might still have a chance. So not being one to give up, even though I'm cursed, I decided to look up this casting director's name and was able to find them on multiple platforms. I reached out to them on Twitter even though it looked like they had not been active for over a year. I was gearing up to do an email blitz to every other social media platform that they were on, when I remembered I have a friend whose aunt's in the entertainment industry. So I decided to reach out to him just on the off chance that his aunt might know this casting director. And what do you know? They didn't. Even though I've mentioned this before, I don't think you really know how bummed I was about missing this email. At the time, I had been wanting to do something different in my life. I love creating content, I just haven't been successful in it. So I told myself that I wanted to do something cool or work for someone that was doing something cool. During this time, I was reaching out to content creators to try to get some work. I applied to work for Mr. Beast, and I entered stuff like this Squid Game contest. So seeing that I missed an opportunity to possibly be on a super popular show had me pretty down in the dumps. That was until I got another email. That's right, Cursed Boy got another final email from the casting directors just hours after seeing the original. I was in heaven. I responded to that email faster than BTS fans canceling someone for saying something bad about the group. They asked me if I had some free time during certain dates. I'm free right now. They asked, "Are you vaccinated?" I told them that I was boosted and about to be boosted again. They asked if I had a passport and I said, "Nope, but I'll pay to overnight one no matter the cost." And lastly, they asked, "Have you been on any reality TV shows?" To which I answered, "Nope." I cannot stress how happy I was in that moment. I was contacting all my friends that I had just been depressed with and letting them know I got the email. They were pumping me up so much and saying how freaking awesome it was. I was on cloud 9 after being in the pits of hell. There was nothing that could destroy my mood. Sorry, we're only interviewing people with valid passports. Maybe next season. Huh? That was the exact response I got back from the casting director. I was in shock because filming didn't start for 3 months and I could have got a passport in less than a week. But remember when I said I checked all the boxes at the start? Well, one of them just so happened to say, "You must hold a valid passport for the whole period of filming if selected, and have the right to and be able to travel to all locations as we specify." Now, I admit, reading could have helped me there, but I never thought I was gonna get picked. So why would I waste hundreds of dollars on a passport? I'm poor and they should have known that. Why else would I be playing for money? Anyways, I frantically messaged them back and asked if I could get an interview just for the experience, hoping that I could charm the pants off them and they would allow me to get my passport. Unfortunately, they said that there was only 20 spots left and this was going to be the last round of interviews, and again hit me with the maybe next season. Now, I'm not an actor, but I feel like maybe next season is how casting directors let you down easy. Kinda like how when you get friend zoned by the person you like and they say, "Maybe we should just stay friends for now." Obviously, I messaged the casting director one more time, letting them know that I could have a passport within a week, and also, when does season 2 start filming? I know, it was cringe as hell and reeked of desperation. At that moment, I genuinely thought that was my chance, my big break. Because even if I didn't win this show, it was a good way to get some exposure and try to make a name for myself. Also, I would always have the stories of being one of the first people on the Squid Game challenge show. And like I said before, I was actively looking for something awesome to do in life and I lost out on an opportunity all because I didn't have a passport. As you might assume, the rest of the day was a depression party. I tried to sleep it off, it didn't work. I tried playing video games, didn't care. I even bought myself an ice cream sandwich. It was good, but I was still depressed. I did have a friend that mentioned I could go to the main passport office and probably get a passport in 24 hours, but at this point, I was already in the friend zone and being ghosted by this casting director. All I could do now was start working on myself and start taking thirst trap photos to make him jealous. Now, I know some people have two thoughts after this story. The first one being, you should have just lied. And in hindsight, I agree with you. I could have lied and hopefully got my passport in time. But I didn't want to risk them asking to see my passport and then I don't have one. ending with me still not being on the show and being a liar in the process. The second thought is, just because you were getting interviewed doesn't mean you were guaranteed to be on the show. And again, I do agree with the statement, but let's be real. Who's gonna say no to this mustache? But in all seriousness, I like to equate it to someone who plays the lotto with their own personal numbers, and when their numbers finally hit, it's the one time they didn't buy a ticket. It's a feeling that's just hard to get over. And even if I was on the show and lost, I think the feeling would have been the same. So there you have it. That's my story on how I lost out on $1 million opportunity because I didn't have a passport. And if you're curious if I got my passport now, no, I'm still poor! Oh, and if you're wondering why I said this should have been me, I mean, come on. Every reality show needs a mullety, mustache, beardy guy. That's me.